Hello, welcome to a new video. Happy New Year. Sure you're seeing this on release day. So, anyway, we're ending this year with a bang. This, let's say, is your friend's house or something. Doesn't matter what it is. Point is, this is a build. You don't like it. You want to blow it up. But you don't want it to be an ordinary explosion. That's where this build comes in. So, what I'll do is take this area, dig down here, down 2, go down beneath. So here's the floor of the house, and then go down 2 beneath it, and then dig out a 10 by 10 pit. Through the magic of editing, there will be a pit here right. So there'll be a pit here right now. So now I just said about how you needed the floor of that thing, and then 2 blocks, and then your 10 by 10 by 10 pit. That was a mistake. You also need to mine those 2 blocks. So we've got this little massive, well, not little, pretty big pit here. Actually, most of that 10 by 10 by 10 probably won't be used, but it's best to be on the safe side. So the first thing that you're going to want to make is you're going to want to put a piston here, sticky piston, both of these sticky pistons up here, and then another one here, there, then so blocks here, both. And now you need to figure out where you want the activation thing to be. I'm gonna put it here, just so you can see. Repeat it on here, set it to be delayed. This one here, no delay. And then just link it up. So I then put one there and it blocks it, and then break it and it comes back out. And then beneath here, go down here to the center of your pit and build a beacon. I'd say the smaller the better, because you're going to be blowing this up, so you want to save resources on the beacon. And just let it activate. And that's the bit that's going to be doing the laser part. And then the majority of the time, it's going to be not showing. Another mistake here. Redstone torch here, that way it's a NOT gate. So what this does is makes it so that only when this bit is powered will that bit be revealed. So that way it is by default closed. So we've got that bit sorted, and if you want you can add glass panes to that. Or if you really want you can actually make a mechanism that, like, actually gonna do that, make a mechanism that like changes the colour of it as it goes on. And you're gonna run the redstone down a bit. I'd say to about here is good. Actually, no. You want it to be close to the top, yeah. actually a bit problematic figuring out where to put the... Now, anyway, I'm going to be doing the bit for actually blowing stuff up. Here. Sticky piston here. Did that. And this is where it gets dangerous. I'd recommend doing this part last. Because from here, if you mess up, the whole thing explodes. So this is the highest stakes. So leave that bit open. This bit, go down 1, 2, and then fill it in here. So then, if I power it, you can see that that goes on. Actually, no, that isn't long enough. This bit, it can be... This bit should be as long as you want the delay to be. I want a pretty long delay, so they have enough time to see the beacon and figure out what's coming. All of these on pretty high delay. That. So you can see there the block, so when I put that there, it then does that. Oh, I forgot to do that bit. So that's on, and then power that, beacon comes on, and then that happens and it blows up, giving them plenty of time to realise what's about to happen. And by the way, this only works on Java to my knowledge, because minecart rail physics are very weird in Java. So now this is the part, if you were observant, you would have seen what we're using for the payload. TNT minecarts. Why TNT minecarts? Because they can be stacked in one block, and the results speak for themselves. Place a whole bunch of them on there, as many as you want, and then without breaking the rail, you just place a block there. And now, as long as you do not disrupt the redstone, and so now just fill in this area, but try your very hardest to not disrupt the redstone. Because if you do, it will blow up prematurely, you will likely die, and it will not be very pretty, because you'll be inside the mechanism. Great spectacle from outside the mechanism, but inside it, it's not so fun. Also, why we don't use any slime blocks in this design. I had an alternate version that used slime blocks and it didn't, and the laser didn't fire properly, but it still blew up, so it kind of ruined the spectacle. So you've got to be very, very careful to not break the redstone. Oh! We're fine. We're fine. We're fine. It did not blow up. There's no TNT in the blast chamber. We're fine. That's what that little drop down bit is. The TNT will fall down there and then it blows up. Because to my knowledge, that's how TNT minecarts work in Java. To my knowledge. If you're seeing this video, then yes, that is how they work. Because I'm not going to advertise a trap that doesn't work. And you can set the activation for this to be whatever you want. I'm going to have it not actually have anything directly linked to it, so you press a button in the right spot, place it in the right place, and then press it, and that blows it up. But if you want, you could link it to a pre-existing pressure. If you want it to be even more evil, you could link it to a pre-existing pressure plate. For example, and I'm not saying you should do this, but if you really wanted to, something to do with your friend's door. Yeah, you get what I'm going for. I'm not saying you grief though, that's bad. Oh yeah, here's the thing. From the beam, the beam bit has to stay not filled in, because otherwise it can't blow up, so you need to light this area up. Though the beacon should do that. So, yeah. Let me just go into spec. So you can see there, all of the redstone and that is still linked up, which is good. And then yeah, you can tell what's going to happen when I pull that retracts, they fall, breaks the minecart, they blow up. And it should blow up, build up here. So I'm going to stop this and get onto another fun thing you can do if you want to add to the spectacle. So, magic of editing, the hole should be filled in now. So, notice that, yeah, I've only filled this in to a point, and that, so yeah, I've only filled up the pit to a point. I've got this bit of redstone coming in from the ceiling here. What we're going to do is going to make a machine that actually changes the colour of the beam. So, notice that the one to blow it up is set to 8 repeaters on the maximum amount of value ticks. So this one do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That, which should give it time to switch between the two. I actually did this kind of wrong. I say kind of, it went very wrong. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. So there's 6 of them. Set to maximum ticks. They do that one. And still got this issue. Okay. Again. Get rid of that bit. Put it there. And then it's actually a block higher than it has to be. We're trying to save space, so... Two, three, 4, 5. There we go. Still at 6. That there. That goes there. And after all that, I've done all this wrong. No, I haven't. That was a mistake. That. And then out of here. Here. I'm gonna go all the way over here. And cut this off for a second. Should be like that. The brakes. And then that one goes on and it breaks. That. I get the issue here. It's a really simple one that I should have seen coming. It doesn't redirect redstone, which is actually really annoying for builds like this. So I have to spend more space. So normally it's gonna, by its default, it's gonna be on, which does this, and then it breaks, and then there we go. Nice little transition. And now 1, 2. There we go. So it's now back to being a red beam. So I'm gonna fill up the rest of this pit and then gonna activate it, and you're going to see the results of it. So, back on the surface, where I said about how the drop pit, you just needed one block for the beneath the block that the rail was on for the main car things, that's wrong. I tried it. They didn't blow up. Should blow up on a larger impact, though. If not, then I guess it's back to the drawing board. So yeah, assuming that I've done this right and you followed your own correctly, you should get something like this. Beam goes on, beam goes red, pulses, goes black, then should explode. Should explode. There's the issue. Good to see a bit of me attempting to fix issues in real time. So I think it's like here where it is. There we go. Jump down here and then should be able to break that. Yep, either way, that should have happened after the laser went off. Point is though, it's a big explosion and you can put as many TNT minecarts on there as you want for as big of an explosion as you want. The crater isn't very big wide, but it's very long. In fact, actually, I'm going to try and show you the biggest crater. So yeah, that didn't entirely work, but you should get the basic gist of it now. Just, yeah, the bit that goes to the TNT minecart, if it's one lower, it should work fine. I'm not testing it because this is my second or third time recording this video. So you're going to have to do a little bit of tweaking to the design to get it to work, but it should work. Anyway, now I'm just going to put as many TNT minecarts on here. Anyway, there isn't really an upper limit to how big the explosion can be. The upper limit is entirely determined on how powerful your computer is. So yeah. I feel like this is almost enough TNT to prove my point. Yep, and then I just push it. You can have alternate firing mechanisms, like you push it instead or something, I don't know. Then it detonates. Yeah, you can create pretty big explosions. You know what? I'm not going to make you watch me placing all of this TNT, but I'm going to do one more for good measure, just to prove how big it can get. So, that's a lot of TNT in one spot, and I'm going to push it, and we're going to see what happens. For science. And off it goes. Yeah. Okay, the explosive power does kind of cap, but you get my point. That you can pack as much TNT into one thing as you want. And it can get pretty laggy. Don't know how much TNT that was. It's placing for like 3 solid. It's placing down TNT for like 5 minutes. And it still only created this size explosion. Which really isn't much bigger than the 2 craters over here. So there's definitely an upper limit somewhere. Anyway, see you guys tomorrow. Goodbye.